The next example from José Furtado from the Portuguese National Archives is linked to the electronic platform that they've built to commercialize products from the archive. So just look at it. You need a presentation first? Yes. Or?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm going to present our experience on face-to-face to e-commerce migration. We have been working on an online shop for some while, but we decided to go a little bit further in terms of working in e-commerce platforms. So I will do a very quickly presentation of the club. Yeah. Okay. I will make a brief characterization of the club and about the shop, the environmental context that we were living, the opportunity to change by use of an e-commerce platform, some objectives and methodology that were used, the results, what we have learned, and next steps, last reflections, and some challenges. So the GLAB stands for General Director for the Books, Archives and Libraries, and is a central service from the direct administration of the state, whose mission is to ensure the coordination of the national archive systems and the execution of an integrated policy for non-school books, libraries, and reading. It superintends 18 archives nationwide, safeguarding archivistic heritage from the 9th century to the present day. And here is included National Archives, Torre do Tombo, Ultramarine Historical Archives, and the Portuguese Photographic Center. The club has a physical store service operating at National Archives, which aim to support institutional image by selling products with reproduction images from its archive heritage, as well technical books, catalogs, postal cards, diverse memorabilia, etc. The original strategy of the shop for support institutional image 20 to 25 years ago was conceived and developed towards the idea that solely public who frequent the National Archive and its service would got the chance to buy or access to products. By the other hand, the option was for hold high quality products, especially porcelains and jewelry. And the bet was more on a decoration line than utilitarian ones, and targeting adults and middle upper class public, forgetting the youngest public as a possible target. So during COVID-19, we experienced the effects and the consequences of it very, very deeply. Directly or indirectly, it disturbs the model of business that we were running it, and we observe an abrupt decline of sales and the presence of clients at the archives due to confinement. In terms of human resources, we had to deal with the difficulties that some of our staff, especially elderly, felt to quickly adapt and to respond to the increased online demands. And regarding logistics aspects, we were confronted ourselves with the inefficient capacity of response from the web page that we use on demands of our customers, as well as a deficient stock management due to difficulties to access the main warehouses that were kept too far away from the business center. Naturally, part of the reasons for this issue came as a reflex of the incremental growth of online requests to services. The circumstances took most of us to privilege interactions through electronic channels, as everybody knows. In our case, we experienced a 13% growth of line interactions, where between January and June, comparatively to the last 6 months of 2019. And it continues to increase since then. We had users from more than 70 different countries that access to the GLAB Archives database to search on its more than 6 million images available online, rich on information, iconic visions and images of worlds which can be used free of charge. All the above make us believe we should focus on a shift of paradigm in this business area and introduce a different strategy, both at physical shop and online services, but especially focuses at online services. The circumstances force us to conclude that we should be where public is and deliver it what they demand in the way they demand. So we take it as an opportunity to reinforce the digital transition initiatives of our services, to consider the adaptation of a more convenient way to communicate with our users and potential clients, to consolidate and reinforce the objective of use of the GLAB shop as a privileged vehicle for the dissemination of the institutional image, both to national as international public to access national archives and its services. Of course, here is credits to the European Digital Project that definitely pushed the project away by allowing us to present it under the activity 3, new business and conceptual model. Decisions were taken towards the professionalization of the GLAB's online shop presence by means of disruptive technology in such a way that could force us to be able to be also disruptive on our own work. Here are list some of the features that we looked for at this e-commerce platform, more at a link if you would like to know the complete features. And in resume, what we look at was for ways to optimize resources and process, so that purchasing the products process could be fully automated from selection to payment, responsive versions for mobile devices, aggregate other revenues generating the GLAB services on the same platform. For example, we have these 18 unities all nationwide, so it's very convenient for us to have some of them aggregate in one platform, allowing them to manage very easily and us to, of course, control centrally for our best convenience. To increase efficiencies in customer service, both at the front office as back office level, reading of sales, flow indicators and order requests, payment methods, facilities, ability to support flexible calculation mechanisms on shipping functionalities, possibility for tax configuration per country, general data protection, regulation, compliance and customer support, possibility of external authentication through services such as Facebook, Twitter, ability for customers to view their order history and status, live chat integration, and so on. From September 21 to March 22, main activities consist on self-training in the new software application and on the parameterization of platform, and over more than 400 products were introduced with corresponding descriptions and more than 1,014 photographs and digitalization have been done, along with measurements and rating, translation of tests, elaboration of tests for customer communication, other forms of payments, returns, revaluations, etc., etc. And here is some example of how is the platform working at the back office and also at the front office. This is the back office where we do all the parameterization, where we describe all the products, and it's very specific in every items, and it allows us to communicate with client at distance without human intervention, particularly at all. This is the front office. Some of the products that we have online already. All this has been organized in the most user-friendly way possible. And we try to improve, of course, another way of communications, okay? Here are some cups that we sell, but that is not our business area. What we really want to get is people to know our business core, that is promote culture. That's why each product that we have, we try to develop a short story and take the public to the real document. We learn, of course, during this process that the aspect that most concern us turned to be around logistics once it is of crucial importance. In that sense, physical reorganization of warehouses became a priority, as well as stock management. By other hand, self-taught training reveals very beneficial to us. Although time-consuming, it promotes self-motivation, accountability, and commitment of self to service. Once professional formation on ground, it reveals incremental gains on the consolidation of knowledge. And of course, this is still working in progress. As disruptive as the implementation of a platform of this kind may be, its effective success will depend not so much on the technological potential, but rather on the many variants of the strategy that we can use to meet not only the regular delivery of service, but the background support for it, logistics, of course, being the most important. In that sense, e-commerce platform is a mean, not an end. It is a tool to help us to keep in path with its strategy defined by introducing significant operational improvement gains. Be where the users are or be where the public is. Recall us the need to use ways of communication to facilitate the proximity of organizations to citizens, and it's of crucial importance, and from our point of view, represents a window of opportunity both for archives as for the market. For last, along with the consolidation of the strategic actions in the technological and operational field, in order to better disseminate the institutional image of our archives, it is important that we start the path towards the creation of synergies that allow us to more easily identify and meet the needs of the users, the customers, citizens, by creating synergies with other entities. Of course, this is much more easy, say, to be done, but by creating conditions to facilitate and encourage access to archives heritage, targeting researchers from other fields like designs of products, magnify the role of archives as a rich and explored source of resources for cultural commercial market, by incentivize public-private cooperation to generate co-productions opportunities, especially with designs, schools and factories, generate product diversity to meet a broad range of public from youngest to elderly and attract other consumers to the archive that would at the same time help to promote the rejuvenation of the institutional image through more modern, innovative and diversified products. To promote internships in real work contests focused towards web design, marketing or communication. Promote initiatives focused on creating opportunities for artistic productions, fostering identity expression as a right of citizenship that the state should support. Create conditions for the development of new business area and economic activity by increasing the awareness of the potential of archive material as market value and revenue. And for next years, the challenge will be to us to use the e-commerce platform as a laboratory of experience and attract partners that may face the archives as a source of inspiration. Thank you very much.